Alright, so in this video, we will be explaining how even a beginner can make substantial profits with Archangel X. Not only will we be explaining how, but we will also be demonstrating the workflow, going step by step over all of these things that you're seeing right in front of you. Now, if you don't know what Archangel X is, this is our automated trading bot that we've created, the latest creation, and it's absolutely amazing. What you're about to see is gonna blow your mind. I'm not even lying. And again, the point is you can even be a beginner trader. Maybe you just know the basics and you can still make this work. We will go over how we're gonna create profitable strategies, and you're gonna see backtesting data and forward testing data that you'll also be able to create yourself without ever touching the chart, without ever touching the fucking trend line, without ever getting into the price action of anything, but rather going completely based off data and numbers. And I feel like this is what makes Archangel X and automated trading as a whole extremely powerful. All right, so step number one is the willingness to learn. You need to have the willingness to learn. This is something new, especially if you're a beginner or you've never traded before. Like, you're coming in inside a whole new world. And if you're expecting that you're just going to click one button and get rich, then this is not the product for you. This is not what you just get out this video, please. If you're actually willing to sit down, learn something that will feed you for a lifetime, learn something that can literally make you generational wealth if you use it correctly, then hey, you're in the right video. But again, if you're just trying to get rich quick, looking for schemes, this is not it. Now, the second thing is you're going to get set up, right? Once you purchase your Archangel X bot, you're going to have about 1 to 2 onboarding calls with our team. They're going to set everything up for you, set it up on your VPS, etc., etc. And then once that's done, now your learning process starts. This is where you got to sit down, learn how to use everything. Again, we still do like weekly Zoom trainings where we teach everybody in the group, but you also get access to one-on-one coaching calls on a per need basis just to help you out with anything. The third step, we gotta pick a pair. For this specific video today, we're picking one of my favorite pairs, Bitcoin. So this is one of my favorite pairs to not only trade, but also to invest in. But that's outside of this scope. So we're gonna go with BTC. Now, step number 4, which is playing with the inputs and testing period. So in order for us to validate a strategy, we need to test it, right? And as you can see here, step number 5 is generating backtest and forward test results. Now, the only way for us to validate a strategy is to go in the past and see what that strategy would have done. And this whole process happens inside of MetaTrader 5 with this backtesting feature. But then there's an even more powerful feature called forward test. And it's also a feature inside of MetaTrader 5 that goes back in the past and executes those trades based on real market execution. And then it would give you the exact results you would have gotten if you actually ran that set file or that strategy in the live markets. So it's using 100% accurate tick data, which is absolutely amazing. And we'll go over that in a bit. After that, you'll start seeing this word a lot, set file, set file. What is a set file? What is a set file? A set file is basically a preset. It's a combination of different inputs for our trading bot Archangel, and it's basically telling it what to do. Okay, that's what it is. It's just a set file that is just a file basically that tells Archangel here what it should be doing, how it should be trading. And these are things that you could download. For example, if you go to our Discord, you can see a bunch of set files right here that I share all the time, that our clients share, all kinds of stuff. We're all about sharing stuff that works over here. So you could just download those and plug them into your trading bot, and it will trade based on those parameters. But if you want to create your own set files, which is what we actually recommend, you have to go through the process. There's 2 ways. There's a manual way, there's a set file finder way. I'll quickly go over both of them. And then the last thing is validating the set file or the preset. Validating means, is it actually good or is it BS, right? That's the main thing. If it's good, then we can move on to step number 8, which is we actually run the set file on a demo account or on a live market account or on a prop firm account or whatever you're trying to trade, right? If it's not good, then boom, you have to go back again and pick another set file. So that's basically the process, and I'm about to demonstrate it here really quickly, and you'll see that it's not really that complicated. So you just basically go to view up here and you go to strategy tester. This needs to be on. This is where we test our strategy. This is what allows us to back test, forward test, do all of that stuff. You can see I have Archangel X loaded up here. We're using BTC USD as our pair that we want to create set files for and create strategies for, very profitable strategies, and we're using it on the 1 minute time frame. Now I'm testing a period of about a month and a half, so basically going from November to December 10th, beginning of November to December 10th. The forward test is going to be 1/3 of that period, meaning starting from November 27th onwards is going to be the forward test and not the back test anymore. What is the difference? Well, again, the forward test is actually using real live market executions. It's using real fills. It's just much more accurate data compared to the back test. Sometimes it just uses historical data, but it's not actually going in and executing that stuff. Again, when it comes to some of these settings, this is not how we teach it inside of our course. This is how to do it pretty quickly. In reality, we want to use every tick based on real ticks. That will give you the most accurate data. But because I didn't have too much time for this YouTube video, I just wanted to do it quickly, okay? Anyways, let's move on. Inputs. So what is inputs? This is basically what you're telling the EA or the automated trading bot to do. This is how it decides what it can do. For example, here you see trading sessions, right? For example, in this specific example, we're having the bot trade from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. based on the market watch time right here. That would be an input. Now, the great thing about MetaTrader 5 is we can test multiple inputs at once. And this is what makes this whole thing extremely powerful. For example, let's say RSI time frame, right? We can test anywhere from 1 minute all the way to 1 hour. And if you click this, you see there's a lot of things in between 1 minute and 1 hour. And it can go ahead and test each one of these individually and run them by each other. And if you look here, down here, we have 13,366. That means there's 13,366 different strategies that we've generated, because when we do this kind of stuff right here, it cross-combinates multiple combinations and then gives us the results of that in the end. The funny thing is, we don't need to know what any of these things mean. You could literally just download a set file from our Discord and you go here, click load, or you can go through the course and learn what some of these things do, and that will also help you out. So whatever, I've already done the back test and the forward test, so you can go ahead and explore these results. So you can see right here, we got some pretty cool results. Right, these are a bit of duplicates, but yeah, you can see we have quite a lot of profitable results out here on the back test. And then we could go on the forward test, which is, I like using forward test because it's more accurate. But the point is, we want to find something that satisfies both. We want to see consistency. We want to see that what we see on the back test versus what we see on the forward test is consistent with each other. That gives us a high confidence strategy or a high confidence set file. For example, let's test this one out, right? It says that we made $16,000, 242 with only 1% drawdown. By the way, this is on a $10,000 account. So this is not even on a big account in just a month. Again, this was a period where Bitcoin was going parabolic, so it does make a lot of sense that we would make insane gains, okay? So first thing we need to do to run a single test is we basically disable optimization. We go to that forward test result that we want to test, and we just run a single test. And then we will see this graph, and this graph is giving us data of what has happened. So this long one is the back test, and then you see this line, this is a separator, and then this is the forward test. This is all you need to be doing, is how do you interpret data. You don't need to know anything about trade lines or trend lines or whatever it is. You don't need to know anything about that. All you need to know is how to read numbers. And right now we can see that this is a really good set file, right? Why? Okay, now you see down here, you see back test and forward test. That's when we can go inside of this strategy and see what were the results of it. So we'll go to back test. And it says right here that this strategy right here from a $10,000 account has made us a total net profit of $42,000 on the back test. So this would be on a 1.5 month period, basically. We made $42,000. Absolutely amazing. Now, in this specific strategy, we were trading with the trend. And if you go and look at the charts, then you'll see that Bitcoin was trending upwards the whole time. So that's why there's very little losses here. It makes sense. So this is possible in this specific scenario. And you can see the drawdown. We look at this one, equity drawdown maximal. It means what was the max that the account went down to was only $268. For this specific strategy. Now, mind you, not every pair is going to get you crazy results like this. Even this pair, Bitcoin, if we tested during a different time, it would have a different result, right? And that's why we keep on testing and keep on improving our strategies over time. This is not a one-time thing you do and then that's it, you ride it for the next year. That's not how this works. Every around 2 to 4 weeks, we want to do this process and create a new set file that has recent data in mind. And that's how we stay ahead of the markets. We keep doing this and we always got the most recent data inside of our strategies. And that way we're always ahead and that's how we stay profitable, really. It's really super cool stuff, man. Anyways, so during this period, 1.5 months, we made $42,000 on the back test. Now let's check forward test results. Now mind you, forward tests, as you can go here on the settings, start at the 27th. So they don't start the whole 1 month period. It starts at the 27th, okay? So we'll go forward test and we see here that we made a total net profit of $16,242 out of our 10K account, right? So this is from the 27th on to December 10th, basically, we did $16,000. So that's pretty damn good. And this was with real market execution, like real results. And so you could even see the history quality here says 100%. So it's like you got good, accurate data. Not the best data because we're not using every tick based on real ticks, okay? So if this was a file I wanted to run, I would run a different setting. But anyways, we can see that we made $16,000 from November 27th with a drawdown of $182. So it's pretty consistent with the drawdown that we saw here. It's a little less, but again, this ran for a longer period of time and it's pretty good. Okay, cool. So now, what do we do with something like this? We can use the same settings that just made these results. We can download them and just use them ourselves. How? When you run a single test here, right, or you double click this thing, it auto-populates all of the inputs. It auto-populates the exact settings that gave you these results. So you didn't even have to do much right here, right? It auto-populates it and all you do is right click and go to save. You save it on your desktop, you save it as profitable Bitcoin, whatever you want to call it, and then that's it. How do we run it? That's where you basically go here, you go to your EA, or this is the automated trading bot, you go to load, and you load that file, and now it will start trading exactly based on these inputs that you have here. And it will trade the same way that it traded this exact strategy that you're seeing the results on. Now let's make a clear distinction. Is it going to have the exact same results as this? Not necessarily. Depends on if the current market conditions are similar to what you did here, then yeah, it's going to trade pretty similarly. Let's say you did a test that's from October and we're in December. October and December, like the markets have really changed, especially in Bitcoin, right? So if you had something that worked in October, it won't necessarily work right now. This is why we keep updating our tests every 4 to 2 weeks. So we make sure it has the latest data and make sure it knows what's happening in the markets, and it will start trading based on that in mind instead of using old data from October or whatever. That's the beauty of this whole thing. You see here, I said pick a set file creation method. There's the manual versus the set file finder. What we just did right now is the manual method. I did everything manually, right? But there's a different method that you can use. It's called the set file finder method. And this is especially helpful if you're looking to achieve a specific drawdown limit. Like you want a specific drawdown limit. For example, let's say you're on the prop firm. This is very helpful for prop firms especially. Or if you have a personal account but you don't want to exceed a certain drawdown limit and you have like limits in mind and you want to see what this kind of drawdown can actually get you in gains. So this is where we go to our set file finder. We created this tool right here that literally, based on data that the test gave us, will create set files for you that respect your target drawdown. And we can see right here, there's different results, there's different things that, and all of this data that you see, you could download. By the way, the biggest things that we look at are estimated total profit and estimated total drawdown. Once we populate this with the target drawdown, which in this case, we want something that will give us a maximum of $1,000 in drawdown, for example, and it creates all the set files that would respect that specific drawdown. So for example, we can see a lot of these set files here would have made $12,000 in profits with just 981 drawdown. And you download them. So you go to Set Converter here and you can download each one of these files if you want to, or you can basically just pick the best ones. And then once you do that, you come and you go through a validation process. Again, you validate the set file. We always do this step before we choose to either run it or not run it. We validate it. If it's good, we run it. If it's not good, we don't run it. And that's it. That's all it takes. So to some of you, that might have sounded a little bit complicated, but to most of you, I think that sounds much more easier than manual trading and trying to actually pinpoint the exact time where you should be taking the trade and being literally stuck to the chart, trying to find the exact entry that you need to be taking based on your strategy. Let's say you're trading SMC and you need to wait to see the exact order block formation before you take. It's like, bro, we ain't got time for that. We don't. Why when we got technology today that's literally able to analyze all of this data and make decisions based on this data and then tell us what it would have done so we can see the results and then make logical decisions based on data and based on numbers on what we should run and what we shouldn't run, instead of relying on our own biases and everybody sees the market differently and you might see that this is an order block and somebody else might not. Whatever, you get the point. We as humans are biased and everyone sees the market differently, but the software doesn't. The software doesn't. The software is programmed to do one thing, and whatever, based on the set file you tell it to do, that's what it's gonna do, right? And our job is to find the best set files and the best settings to give to our bot, and that's what it will trade. And I just showed you how we do that. Super, super simple. Even a beginner can make substantial profits with Archangel X. I just want to show you some recent Discord results that we just had. For example, you see here, I'm active inside the community. I share my own set files as well. I'll let you guys download them. I don't mind. We can see here our man Gosset used set file over the past month, started managing his pre-funded account. He's already up $400 so far, and he's up 1.1K on his 50K challenge. And plus he's trading this 100K account right here. We can see that is also in good amount of profits. You can see the trades right there. You can see all the profits, 2.2K right there, $500, a couple of losses here and there. That's normal. But yeah, all in all, he's up $4,000, I believe, on this one. Yep, right there. Anyways, we can go here. We got our guy Prince. He made $240 on his $2,000 account with Bitcoin. Again, I told you Bitcoin is one of the money makers for us. You already saw the results that it actually gives us. So this is very realistic right now. He literally made 24% on his account. Insane. And this is a live account, $2,000 real money. This is him again. Before he hit 240, he was up 109. So you see the progression over time. We got Peter here. He's sharing some of his backtesting results on the German index. We got Tim here, 1.5 weeks of results on gold and Bitcoin on the live account. So this is on the live account. He deposited 10 grand, and you can see he's already up $4,800. So yeah, we're talking about some powerful stuff. You can see Marnie here, day 2 of testing on a demo. So she's still testing on her demo account. 2,500. Boom, 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 boom. Amazing stuff. You can be part of all of this stuff. You can see we share set files all the time between each other. Like whenever somebody finds something successful, we share it with each other. All kinds of cool stuff, man. All kinds of cool stuff. But yeah, click the link down in the description, and I'll see you inside.